Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy Hangout. We do this every single Friday where we get together, we mix our energies, we ask a juicy question of the universe, and we usually have a pretty good time doing it. So today we have a lovely, juicy question. What do they say about you? A little gossip. What are they saying about you? Why are they saying it? Etc., etc. So let us move into this reading, but I did just want to say that this is May, the month of May, the happiest month of the whole year. And I have been so sad this month, and I just apologize. I think I'm coming out of that. And yeah, I just wanted to say, those bastards. But no, we can be happy. We're turning it around. We're so happy. Oh, also, did you see this strawberry that I got? I found this and it's like strawberry moon time of the year. So I just thought that I would get this. I don't know. We have like a whole garden area going on this couch. So, okay, without further ado, we don't have an anchor card today, so we can skip that and we'll just go straight to the piles. So we've got pile number 1, which is the hunter. And then we have pile number 2, which is the forest, and pile number 3, which is the underworld. Dun, dun, dun. No, I'm kidding. We don't know what's in pile number 3. It's probably not scary, or maybe it is, but it's totally fine. But so we've got all 3 piles here. So if you haven't chosen, or even if you have, now's a good time to meditate. We'd like to take our moment of full and complete silence here, close the eyes, turn our gaze inwards, and just connect with the part of ourselves that is below our demographic information and our ego and all of the stress that's going on in our world collectively and anything that might be going on in your personal life. You got to do this later. You got to get to the store. You got to not look at the prices of anything that you're buying, etc., etc. So if you just want to go ahead and take a moment and just connect with that inner space. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and be drawn in to whatever of the piles you feel drawn to, or even more than one. Maybe this person is a motor mouth. Maybe they got a lot to say. Or maybe they say one thing to one group of people, another thing to another group of people. You never know. Oh my gosh. It's the return of the boob card. For those of you who don't know, the boob card is the hunter card because we had determined that it from far away does look like a boob. If that affects your decision at all, we would love to know in the comments collectively. Hello, hello. Hi. All right, so we'll leave this up for another couple of seconds. And here I am choosing the underworld. Bring it on. Madonna would be proud. All right, so if you need another couple seconds, you can go ahead and pause the video here. Otherwise, we will move on to pile number 1. Dee's asking when my birthday is. You know, I don't know if I want to say it on the internet when my birthday is, but it is near. This is my birthday week. Let me just tell you that. It is my birthday week. And Alex and I actually have our 10-year anniversary in a couple of weeks after this. So we really do have a lot of happy things going on here and a lot of reasons to celebrate. And we are going to get away for a couple of days and go somewhere like nearby, obviously, because gas is obviously expensive. But we didn't take a honeymoon. And so the 10-year thing, I really want to make sure that we do that. So anyways, we do have a lot of happy things. Okay, so I'm just going to flip this so Alex can get the timestamp a little better. So pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1. Let us see. For pile number 1, what is pile number 1's person saying about them. Okay, let's see. You guys better have fun, right? Okay, so for pile number 1, Spirit, who should we ask? Okay, who is this person first? Let's anchor ourselves in like who this person is and their context and their perspective. So, okay, Spirit, for pile number 1, who is pile number 1's person? And what is the foundation from which they're thinking about and talking about pile number 1? The Bayou, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy early birthday. Okay, interesting. The Page of Flames. The 7 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Cups. Okay, I'm getting that this person did something that left them alone and isolated, and they either got caught doing it or I just feel like this person was caught up in some type of social game. And I don't know that they were thinking about it as a social game at the time so much as just trying to be cool, trying to save face. And they're saying that they've kind of grown up since then. I feel like this person has kind of recognized that people are not, they're recognizing the ways in which they made people feel in the past. And I don't think you are the only person that got wrapped up in this. I think that there's other people as well who have been kind of caught up in this person's, again, game feels like the wrong word. It feels more like they weren't living authentically. They weren't living from their heart, but they weren't necessarily trying to kind of like weasel around. So yeah, I do feel like this person is wanting to clear the air. And yeah, okay, so the 5 of Wands is like, there was an argument here. There was a fight here. The 3 of Swords. For some of you, this could have been like a third party, somebody who inserted themselves into your business. And that could have been into a relationship that you had, romantic or platonic, but I just feel like they were kind of inserting themselves in your business. Who is this person, Spirit? The Hermit. I just heard you got me, so I feel like you've shown the light here on this person. Or for some of you, this isn't a third party. This is actually like a person that you were involved with. And they're saying that they were inserting competition. But I feel like this was all to wear a mask of like the cool guy or the cool girl, trying to seem that way. So, okay, this is part confession is what I'm getting, because I feel like this person is wanting to confess that I feel this person said certain things in the past, and those things were not truly the way that they felt about you. They didn't reflect. I'm hearing like the things that this person said, this is kind of disturbing, I think, for them to hear and kind of realize, but the things that they said in the past about you or surrounding you, or just like overall in general, to do with like a lot of people, didn't actually reflect their true feelings, their heart, their actual perspective, the truth of anything. They were just putting on some front. Like they were just trying to put on a front. They were fronting and they were trying to seem cool. And I think, yeah, they recognized that they said different things to different people in order to save face. And they were trying to change their destiny. I think they were trying to seem bigger than they actually were. For some of you, I just feel like this person threw you under the bus in some type of way. I don't think this person is saying this out loud. Like, I think they're giving you this confession in the reading. I don't think they're confessing this to other people that they lied. I'm hearing that. I lied. Okay, wait, I just heard that Nicki Minaj song. It's like, oh, I lied to keep you from breaking my heart. Breaking my heart. But that song has like this like haunty kind of like echoey. Oh yeah, echoey. There's like haunty, kind of dark, spooky, like, but echoey kind of feel to it. And I feel like that's the way this person, that's what they were trying to hide, but that's the way they feel kind of on the inside. So should we ask what they said in the past here, and then we'll get to what they're saying? Okay, because to be honest, I don't think this person is saying much about you. For some of you, this person's alone. Like other people have chosen to block this person out, or like they don't hang out with the people that they used to hang out with around you, because I just feel like this person, it's like things catch up with this person, and there maybe has been some type of like conflict. Maybe this is the conflict with you that has like kind of pushed them out. I'm hearing the word ostracized. So what did this person, I'm just going to ask real quick what this person said in the past, and then I want to get to what this person is saying now, but I don't really think that it's much. So, oh, thank you guys. Okay, so what did this person say in the past, Spirit? What did this person say in the past? Four of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. And the Page of Swords. Okay, once again, I'm getting like this person's like, oh, okay. So there's some projection going on here with this person because I'm getting like that their words didn't match their actions. I think they said that about you though. Or they tried to point it out in some way. I think this person tried to say that you were like vain and full of yourself here in the past. I think it's because this person finds you to be really attractive. I don't think this is your energy at all. I think that like it could have, I don't know, maybe they were saying that you're like a partier or something like that. But also there's this like Queen of Pentacles. I think this person's acknowledging within themselves. I think it makes them feel ashamed to acknowledge it. But I think they're realizing like you are the Queen of Pentacles. And you have this like very sweet nature. You're not full of yourself. Look at her body language. And like, there's something about her hands and the way that she's holding the crown. That's just making me think like, that you're a little bit, like you're very, I don't know how to say this, like, available to people is not the right way. Like you're a little bit not insecure though, in the way that I'm thinking about it. Like, it's just, you are kind of, like, I'm not talking about your personality because some of you might have a very social, like outgoing personality, but there's a side to you that is very worried about hurting other people or very worried like about what other people could possibly, like you move carefully and not in a manipulative way. You just move carefully kind of a thing. It's a sweetness, it's a genuineness, it's an authenticity. And there's something about you that like maybe doesn't exactly go with the trends or something. But I think you're true to yourself, true to your heart. And when you're true to your heart, that's when the heavens will part. You show the world what you believe in. Open your eyes. No one can tell you no lies. That's reminding me of Mulan because that's like the song that plays at the end of that movie. And I'm kind of getting that, like, you know, Mulan didn't really know where she belonged, but when she went against the grain, everything didn't work out for her for a while and she felt super weird, but then eventually it did. And then she was true to her heart and then she kind of broke through a mold. And I feel like for a lot of you, like the truth and authenticity of you has actually been shown in this situation. And so they do feel some type of shame. And I think that there's a kind of confidence that comes through you where you have that confidence to be true to your heart. It's like, you know, that you don't want to go like a certain direction or something. I think there's a deep irony in this, that you don't want to be this. You don't want to be superficial. You don't want to be self-absorbed. You don't want to be like, and you try not to be, but there's a kind of confidence. There's something about you that makes you like cool, or that this person thinks it makes you cool or interesting. And so they tried to associate that with other things, or they tried to hint at the very least that that's who you were. But actually this person is noticing that you're very sweet and you're very humble and you're comfortable taking the back seat and everything. And so, yeah, I think they were saying that there's a way that you present yourself and that didn't match your actions or something. They were trying to kind of give people the impression that you are duplicit, but I don't feel like this person ever spoke it directly, because this person tells a lot of lies, okay? They misrepresent the truth at the very least. It's very fickle. They just say whatever to please the people in front of them, or what they think will please the people in front of them. And so but I don't think it's ever like they say a lot. They don't stand 10 toes down on anything, because they kind of blow around with the wind a little bit, this person. So, yeah, I think that's what they were saying in the past, but they have realized, and I think it's funny because what they've realized in their mind now is that it is kind of that way, but I think that you come across, again, very confident or self-assured, maybe very well put together, because again, like she looks good, you know, like she looks like she takes care of her appearance and everything, but it's like you are this like, you're calm, you're stable, you know, so I think they're realizing that, I think this person was just really attracted to you and they were associating that with certain traits, or I think they must have also felt rebuffed or rejected at some point. Why is this person feeling rejected? 3 of Cups, because you were dancing with your friends. For some of you, that's like actually literal. Yeah, I'm just noticing like her back is turned. So I just feel like you were around your friends or something like that. And they felt like you should have been with them because they felt like you guys were the lovers or something. But there was definitely something, yeah, Ace of Cups. This person got really, really mad at something, but this is emotional. Okay, and so moving into like the present, I feel like what's happening now is almost like a magnet. So I do think this person's keeping an eye on you. I don't think that they could see very much. I'm sorry. This being the boob card and what I'm doing just made that. I'm sorry. So maybe I think this person's maybe thinking stimulating thoughts about you, shall we say? But this don't think of this as the boob card right now. Okay. But just like, think of it as as a magnet, like right here. And it's like pulling this like horse, this dark horse, pulling this dark horse, like, forward. And what I'm getting from this dark horse energy, first of all, I'm getting like, there's something divine about this. Like the horse yonis, they're said to have to do the divine's work here upon the earth. I actually feel like that's you somehow in your energy. It's like it calls this person up. It calls this person like forward. So I do think this person like will keep an eye on you, even if you haven't spoken, because I do feel like there's some water under the bridge here. But it's pulling up this horse. And what I'm getting is like, this is almost like that scorpionic energy, that deep, watery energy that is very stagnant, but there's emotions here. And I think the emotions are hidden for sure and repressed in some way. And so what this person wants to, they're not saying anything. Like that's just what I'm getting. But they are keeping an eye on you, and they want to clear the air. They want to say something, but they're not saying anything. And the things that this person wants to say is all coming from an emotional place. So what I mean by that is it's not necessarily coming from like the facts of life. I just heard the facts of life. Remember that show? The facts of life. But it's not coming from like the facts of reality. It's not coming from like what you've been up to, what they've been up to, what you said to them. It's not really coming from that place so much as like their emotions. And I feel like this person's emotions about you really take center stage. That has to do with their entire lens about you, the way that they see you, the way that they perceive you. And that is also somehow tied into the way they see themselves. So this person is doing this like calculation. Calculation is the wrong word, as it sounds very mental, but like their subconscious and their emotions are doing this like weird, Emily, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, as usual. Your messages of truth and humor continue to assist my healing process. Much appreciated. Thank you. So I'm just getting that there is this kind of, okay, because it's like the way they feel about themselves and the way they feel about you seem to be linked. So it's like they're trying to manage the way that they feel about themselves via what they think that they're seeing and what they think that they're feeling about you, if that makes sense. So they're not really relating to the real you. And have you ever heard that phrase that's like, what other people think about you is their business? Because it really doesn't have to do fully with who you are as a person and what your actions purely are and what your intentions are and all of those things. It has so much, especially to do with this person, where there's clearly a lot that this person is like been stuffing down. And really, I think it's emotions about themselves and like their place in life, or like where, I don't know, this person, I feel like there's a lot of shame about themselves. So again, like they're trying to manage the way that they feel about themselves via how they view you. So I think it was a lot for them to admit in the past how much I just heard loved you, how much they loved you, liked you, wanted to be around you, wanted to be with you, whatever it was. It was like really hard for this person to fully sit there because I think they did something. And given what we started this reading off with, which is this person will just kind of blow around with the wind. They'll say one thing to one person because they'll just sense that that's what's going to fly with that person. That's what's going to make them laugh, or that's what's going to make them like them or think that they're cool. So they'll say that, or they won't say anything, or that's what has been kind of navigating this person in the past. It is very flimsy. It's very weak, but it's also inauthentic. It's not like actually revealing of who this person is, but this person has real feelings for you. This person has real deep feelings for you. And I bet you that's something that's been very confusing about this person. Rachel, thank you so much for the super chat. I feel like that's something that's been really confusing about this person, knowing that they are very wishy-washy and that they change their face like in every kind of situation, but they have feelings for me. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing this scene from, oh my gosh, it was a TV show and it had to do with Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Skye, who was Daisy, she was the main character, but she is having this interaction with, there's this guy named Ward, and he was very obsessed with her. Like, I don't know. And it was weird because at first you kind of thought that it was love, but then as time went on, it was more like obsession and things. But she was like, so there's this whole scene where she's like, so you've been lying to everyone about everything, but your feelings for me. And he was like, they're real, Skye. And I don't know, you just got kind of like, that was right around the time where you're starting to get a scary vibe from this guy. And I'm not necessarily getting a scary vibe from this person, but it's like, that's a weird thing to kind of figure out about a person, where it's like your whole personality and face and presentation, the way that you engage with the world seems to be a lie, seems to be like very changing and very finicky. But your feelings for me are real. And that's what I'm getting, is like this person has real feelings for you. And I do think that they're turbulent, and I do think that they're kind of split. I think that has more to do with the way that they feel about themselves. And it's like you're pulling forth a truth from this person. And it's just through you being you. And I think that this person felt not just an immense attraction to you, but like the kind of attraction that they felt. It was like a real attraction. It was a deep attraction. Because you know what? This person's kind of funny. I would imagine that like attraction is a weird thing for this person because they just want to be liked. That's really it. So I feel like this person will just kind of go and be with whoever is giving them positive attention, whoever is, or maybe this person would try really hard with somebody that didn't like them because they would feel like they need to kind of turn that around in a person. But yeah, I just feel like attraction is a weird thing for this person. I really don't think this person's felt about other people the way that they have felt about you. I think it's really rocked them. I think it's the deepest kind of emotion that they've really ever felt and like kind of stuck with. But I just think that this person's usually just attracted, like, again, it has to do with themselves, but it's also like kind of mind. It doesn't really go too deep. I think it's just like, oh, you're laughing at me. You must like me. That makes me feel like this is who I should be with or flirt with or what, that feels kind of like what it is normally for this person. But this was like on a whole other level. And I don't just think that it brought up feelings of like that, like really deep schmegsual attraction. I think this brought up deeper emotions, especially negative ones about themselves. But I also don't think they were, because they're repressing this, which is an ego defense mechanism, and there are other ones that are active here. Their ego is very much trying to say, no, you're this likable person that makes people laugh all the time, or that makes people like, but that's not really who they are. But their ego defense mechanisms are trying very hard to get them to protect their inner view of who they are. But again, I think this person behaved very badly, and I think that they didn't want to see that. And so they projected, which is another ego defense mechanism, they projected that outwards onto you. That's a way that they're preserving the way that they think about themselves. So essentially they're lying to themselves. But this is all happening very subconsciously. And yeah, so what is this person saying? I'm going to ask one more time, even though I don't think this person's saying anything. I a little bit think that they learned their lesson. I still think this whole way that they are is very active in their life. But I do think when it comes to you and when it comes to this connection, I think this person, I'm hearing like, I really regret not keeping my mouth shut. They really regret it. And I think that with you is kind of the only place where they really regret it. Like there's a certain kind of consequence, because I do feel like people can kind of come and go around this person. This is maybe a person who has a lot of acquaintances around them, but not like true friends. So when they lose people, it's kind of not a big deal to them because they're just going to go build another extremely superficial, wishy-washy kind of connection. They're going to have somebody to hang out with on a Friday night or a Wednesday night. Like this is a person who will kind of do that. And so long as they have people, bodies, like just warm bodies and generic faces, they don't so much care. It's not really about some type of inner connection, but they felt something deep for you. And they learned their lesson. I'm hearing they learned their lesson. So that's why they're not saying anything to you or like to anybody else about you. And it could be that this group, because again, they were saying things to different people around, but that group very well could have fallen by the wayside, or whatever connections that you had in common, because I feel like you did have certain connections in common, or maybe not. Maybe this person was saying that to like different people around them, but I'm getting that they kind of leave that group, but they leave a whole energy, which is very like kind of negative, to come look at you and to look at the light like behind the door here. So what would this person say? I don't think they want to talk about you anymore. I think they realize that this is what caused the problem and this is what caused a lot of hurt. I'm feeling that actually very strong. They don't want to talk to anybody about you anymore. I think they would want to talk directly to you. So what would this person want to say to you? Look at her face. Hold on. Look at her face. Hey, I think this person is like very worried that you would like yell at them. Because I think you have like a forthrightness to your character. It's sort of the polar opposite of this person whose character is for sale in a kind of way. And it's for sale as long as you just approve of them, So this person is wanting to say something that will like change your mind. They're wanting to say something. I just heard, hey, can we get out of here? So I think this person wants to, this is like they're showing me like very nervous, like fidgety person. I'm seeing like beads of sweat kind of like, on their forehead. Hey, can we get out of here? Like, I think this person would want to pull you away from a group and like not be around kind of other people. That could be because I'm hearing like muffled sounds, like other people being around are now making this person very nervous. Because maybe of what you've heard or what you might hear, that's possible, of what they've kind of said. So they want to drown all of that out. But I think this person would want some one-to-one time with you. They think that you're very small. Oh, that was a Freudian slip. Maybe they think that you're very small. They think that you're very smart and that you're really not playing with them anymore, and that you've really kind of caught on to their bullshit and their games and their patterning, and that you are very defensive. But they also think that you're mad. They think that you're angry because they've been two-faced. And this person doesn't know how to address the fact that they've been two-faced. I think that's what they want to talk about. Yeah, but they're like, they don't even know how to say it or how to start that conversation. Like, hi, so I've been two-faced. I know you've noticed. Like this person, they don't know what to say. But they would like a new beginning. They want it to be like grounded and rooted. I think they don't want it. I think this person wants to show you. Okay, so I'm picturing this person trying to get you away, take you out to eat, like kind of feed you, which is what they want to say, if that makes sense. They're trying something different. They're trying a new tact. And I feel like they're really trying to be genuine and authentic. I don't see this changing in other arenas of their life, like their shapeshifter kind of like attitude. But with you, it's like, I don't know, I'm hearing precious, like you're different. They kind of put you on a pedestal. This is, I don't know. But they're trying something different. They want their actions. They want to speak with their actions. Yeah. Actions speak louder than words is what I'm getting. They want their actions to speak louder than words, that they're safe, that they're comfortable, that they're stable, that you can rely on them, kind of a thing. They want to say that they're ready. Okay. This person, okay, now this is interesting. They did some shit on purpose to get you in your feelings. They wanted to like make you cry. I feel like this person actually had like a big like fantasy about it in their mind about like making you cry. This person is very weird. They know the kind of emotion that they want to elicit in people that would make them feel good about themselves. That is essentially how this person operates. They don't operate from an authentic place of feeling, if that makes sense. Like of, oh, I like you, so I want to be. No, they know what. This is very egotistical. Like their ego is very, very strong. And they stay in that ego space. They stay like right on the surface. So they'll know what emotion they want to elicit out of you that validates themselves, their self-worth, and whatever kind of ego image that they have. So if their ego image is like, I'm popular, everybody likes me, I'm well liked, and they view you in this way that they're viewing you, I think at some point they wanted to make you cry. They wanted to have you emotional over them in some type of way. But look at her. Look at her here and there. Oh, wait. Look at her face. She's like crying. This person does find you to be very attractive. Okay, but like look at the difference between these two as well. Like, because one is very counterculture and the other is very preppy. So it could be like this is the way that this person views themselves. And I don't mean this necessarily in how y'all dress, but I just mean this in terms of your inner the way that this person sees you. I don't know that you necessarily see yourself like this, or maybe you do. But if you guys are attracted, I feel like you have like a counterculture aspect to you. And that's probably why you like this person, because you did like this person at one point in time. But yeah, this person lit some fuse here. And her shirt says rubbish. And I just feel like they kind of like lit everything on fire and then like created a bunch of trash. Yeah. So they would want to take responsibility for that. And I just ask, how do they want to do that? With the strength card. So this person, it's this guy. It's, all you suckers on me, got nothing on me. Kevin G. Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't the real lyrics to the song. I can't remember it, but it's like, this guy, the mathletes guy. I'm a mathlete, so nerd isn't furred. I'm like James Bond III, shaken, not stirred. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this guy. So he's obviously like kind of nerdy, but he has like a genuine sense of confidence, like he's like, yeah, I'm a mathlete. I'm also like, I'm an MC. It said badass MC on his card. So like this person is like trying to do that. I'm laughing and like kind of blushing. They might want to do something that makes you laugh or blush, like about how nerdy they are. And look, he's dropping the mic. So like they want to say something into the mic, like something loud, maybe for everybody to hear, and then drop the mic, they have like this big kind of fantasy about it. And with the 10 of Cups here, it's like, I love this person, and also I'm a good person and I want to be a good person for this person. And see me in my khaki cargo shorts. That's who I am on the inside. Okay. I want to wear khaki cargo shorts. So I have a lot of pockets to keep all the love that I have for this person in all of my pockets that I have. And yes, that is a vest. with more pockets on it. I need a lot of pockets for the love that I have for this woman, okay? Like that is what this person, like, they want to actually show up and be stable, and they want to kind of go their own way. Okay, so for some, oh my gosh, okay, I get it. Oh my gosh. Okay, this person has this big fantasy now of, okay, pulling you away from like a group. Because remember I said they didn't really want to talk to this group or whatever. They want to get up on the mic and they want to be like, I have been an absolute ass. And that's their way of like burning shit down with like, and they want, they almost like fantasize about doing this as like a big gesture. Oh, this is reminding me of Chasing Liberty that comes through sometimes in the readings. The big gesture. Like this person wants to give you there's like a grand gesture energy, and grand gestures, it can be kind of a negative sign, but whatever, I'm not here to judge that. But they really want to heal this, and they want to like show that they're not cool, because this person spent a lot of time trying to be cool, really. But the one thing they haven't done is like been their real authentic self. And the real sad thing that I think this person will have to grapple with sooner or later is that the way that they've gone about trying to be cool and like please people is like, it's not their real self. So anything that any of these people are praising, it's not them. So they can't like really take that to the bank at the end of the day, you know? Because people they're not really liking them. They're liking a performance that this person like put on, you know? Encore. Like, you know, that's their whole life, is just kind of performing for people. And you were different is what I'm getting. You were different. This person could have had an abusive father figure in their life. I just heard it broke their will. Yeah, there's something here like about their childhood, and they would want to say that. I think this person might want to like cry. So that's another thing that I'm getting here, because remember I said like this person at some point in the past, they did some weird shit to try to make you cry. And that was them trying to ricochet their own hurt. So I think they wanted to cry at some point because they felt very sensitive, like the moon, all the moon stuff. They felt like they were putting forward an illusion. I feel like this person views themselves as like counterculture, and it must have to do with something superficial with this person. The way that they dress, the kind of people that they hang out with, the places that they frequent, something like that. But inside, I think they felt like this. Very vulnerable. They were putting forward an illusion. So I don't think this is really who they are. I think that this is how they feel like they could get by in the world. So the inside, they felt like this, but they wanted to, that's why they were drawn to you, is because on the outside, maybe you look like this. And it could just have to do with like the fact that you're a woman, or like you're more in touch with your emotions. So this person was trying to get you to cry kind of on their behalf, where they wanted to cry and they wanted that release. But instead, I feel like there's kind of a weird sadism, or it's a power thing, like trying to get you to cry when they were the one that kind of felt like crying. So they might now, at this point in time, want to really like cry, actually. Show you their nerdy side, come clean to everybody all around in a public, humiliating fashion, drop the mic, and kind of ride off with you in the sunset as a way of kind of signaling like that is over. I'm seeing this scene from a movie where it's like, I'm not going to hurt you anymore. That man is gone. I won't hurt you. That man is gone. That's an Ingram Hill song. I won't hurt you. That man is gone. Like, so they would just want to show that, and then like turn a corner in their soul, and they want to focus on the inside. They want to be strong on the inside, because somehow you have demonstrated or helped this person to learn the way that they feel about you, or whatever this is with the boob card and the being drawn towards the light, but not being able to see things like so entirely clearly, but being pulled in more and more. It is giving alien imagery a bit. That has somehow made this person realize that the inside is the key. That they actually they were running away from the inside, and they didn't want anybody to see the inside. So they thought they wouldn't have an inside. They wouldn't have any roots. They wouldn't have anything. They wouldn't be a real person, because being a real person sucks, and it's hard, and you might get rejected and you might cry. And this person was like, no, I'm not supposed to, because men don't cry or whatever. So like, you know, they were like, I just won't have an inside. Now they realize that's the true strength. You've managed to show this person that. And I don't think that it was anything you said. I think it was something that you showed them. Yeah, they were trying to steal something before to get their wish fulfillment, and it led to some type of fight. Also, it could have been that somebody did some weird shit to you in front of this person, and this person just like sat by. Yeah. There could have been some kind of pileup of devil energy around you, but this person was around at the time. But I feel like they just sat by and watched that happen. So, because whoever did something to you, and maybe they actually stole money or something, I don't know. That person was in devil energy. That's another weird person, because it's coming across again like an Aquarian energy. Somebody who feels weird or different on the inside. That person did some weird shit to you, and they were in devil energy. And because they were trying to stop the bleeding. Like, I feel like this, at the very least, it used to happen around you a lot. Or like there was a particular time in your life. Or again, it feels like just this pile up of weird devil energy. And I just feel like this person was trying to seem cool and apathetic and like kind of unaffected. So they had emotions about it. It also made them doubt themselves in some way. It made them feel insecure, whatever happened to you. So you were, look at her. Look at her. This is how you felt. Shocked. Also, her mouth looks like she just drank like a blue Powerade or something. But yeah, like, so somebody here was like trying to take something from you, and it might have been intangible. It might have been tangible, but it was in some devil energy. And it was because I can see that this person feels like weird or a freak, like in some type of way. And so again, I feel like there was something about you that was just like a target for this. I don't really think that you even understood this, that you were being seen in such a manner. Because again, it's like this preppy kind of energy. Is this the same exact outfit? Okay, no, it's not. Yeah, and so he was trying to seem like very apathetic, but had like a strong emotional energy on the inside that was trying not to like let that show, because this person's really all about their mask. They're all about their face game, is what I'm hearing. They're all about their face game. But they really felt like this on the inside. They felt dejected and sad and like the king of the douches, basically. But really, they really wanted to be like your man, basically. They wanted to be like a whole healthy person. They didn't want to have to seem like the jock or like the cool guy, you know? So they want to take responsibility. So yeah, this person, what are they saying about you? They're not. I think this person is trying to say they would like to clear the air with you. They are trying to say through the reading. And again, this is a wishy-washy person. This is a person who's been like a shapeshifter in the past. They've got a lot of work to do. They've got a lot of healing to do. But I really think that the two of you, I'm hearing the word special. This is some type of special connection. I don't want to like mislead you in any way, or like, what I mean by that is I don't want to lead you into this pie in the sky territory where it's like, oh, love kind of conquers all. This person has serious problems, you know, that they would probably need a real, sincerely professional help to. And I don't mean that as a slight at all. I believe in mental health. I believe that this is a fucked up place, this area that we have entered into as souls, when we fell into the same weird tar pit called Earth. And I just think that suffering happens here and weird shit happens here. So this person has like things that they have to overcome in themselves that could threaten to rear its ugly head. And all of a sudden this person could be gossiping about you. You know, I feel like this hurts to hear. But yeah, like this person could all of a sudden relapse and be gossiping about you in order to get their way. And, you know, like this is like somehow their comfort zone. So like they could just revert back to it. I feel like they would hate themselves. I feel like they would have a lot of shame. But just because this person like has a lot of love, I feel like they're determined though. That's what they want. They want you to know that they're determined. So I don't want to be, what do they call it? It's bearish or bullish, like the stock market terms. Bullish is feeling happy about something, right? Like, or like, feeling like it's going to go in a positive direction, and feeling bearish. So like they're saying like I'm being bearish on this, like, you know, and I am a little bit, and I think maybe you are too, but I think this person is like bullish. Like they're like, I'm stubborn, I'm determined. Like I want to kind of like turn this around. But yeah, right now I feel like this person's still on the outside. I do think that they have a lot to do to turn this around. But I think this person fantasizes about that big turnaround moment though. And it seems to be very public. And I think it involves some type of like humiliation. And I think it also involves like something being said into the mic and like mic drop, you know, like kind of a moment. And then just like them wanting to lead you out and away from that. And it's basically their version of just like lighting that all on fire and just karmically purifying that entire space. And like that is done. That chapter is done. And also that man that was in there that hurt you, that stood by while other people hurt you, that laughed when other people were disgusting. That person is gone. And I don't want to be that anymore. Even if it does get me likes or friends or, yeah, I just saw like add friend kind of a thing like in my mind. So even if it does get me that, it's not worth it, because who wants to be around assholes like that? Who wants to be around idiots like that? Like, because I think this person can clearly tell that you're a good person. I just heard the word saint. So I also just heard like sanctimonious. Maybe this person was around people who were sanctimonious, or they were trying, oh, I get it. They were trying to dip their nasty behaviors into this kind of, they were trying to sanctify their nasty behaviors. And they were around people who would do that for them, who would launder their kind of dirty clothes in regards of this. That's what they wanted more than anything, acceptance, right? Well, this person has learned that acceptance ain't worth shit if you're not around good people. Because there was the wrong kind of people accepting this person for the wrong kind of reasons. This feels like a lot of covert contracts. It feels like, oh yeah, well, I won't question you on your bad behavior if you don't ever question me on my bad behavior. And it just becomes this like cesspool kind of an energy. And yeah, so I think this person's kind of realizing that. I think I'm hearing the word toxic. I'm hearing the word grievances. And I just feel like this person wants that to be like entirely over, but they view that being with you. And like riding off into the sunset with you kind of a thing. Okay, so that was a lot for pile number 1. But what do they say about you? Nothing. They said a lot about you in the past. And somehow, some way, and it feels like at a distance from you, where like they've ruined things like with you. That has been very much a part of this person's highest and best path, to be honest. Like I feel like this person really needed this to happen. Have you ever heard people who've gone through like a really, really hard time? Like they'll get really sick or something, and then like they kind of come through the other side. And like, have you ever heard people literally they'll look you in the eye and say like, I needed that. Like if I was really honest, like I needed to go through that. And you're like, what? Like, tell me more. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this person sort of needed this in a way to get on their highest and best path, to get acquainted with like their real self or whatever. And it feels like a lot of bad stuff happened, but I just feel like this person was like, I don't think I would have caught on, you know? It's like they needed you there. And this is like, I think you hit them on a deep place. This must be a soulmate connection, strong soulmate connection, special. I just heard empathetic, telepathic even. Like you might feel like you have a telepathic connection with this person. But yeah, that's what I have for pile number 1. What are they saying about you? They're not saying anything about you. And they equate that to them maturing and learning a lesson. Plus, they kind of recognize that anything that they would have to say about you more reflects their own internal emotional state. And I think this person would like to get that sorted out before they go running their mouth too much. Anyways, because I think they feel it's destroyed a lot of things in their life, actually. Beautiful things, good things, positive things. That them running their mouth is kind of like a loaded Second Amendment device, is what I heard. It is that they need to learn how to use that. Because when they just pop off, like when they just kind of allow it to go, it destroys things for them. It ruins a lot of things for them. When it's attached to this kind of people pleaser sort of a thing. So that is pile number 1. That was pile number 1. All right, let's just have a little, remember Lamb Chop's Playhouse? For some reason, this is like reminding me of that. But we'll get a little bunny butt. We'll have all of our garden friends come up and, you know, show you what they're working with. Is this weird? Is this awkward for you? We'll just cleanse the energy around that. You grow through what you go through. That was kind of settling for pile number 1. I don't know. I feel like I've been reading y'all's energy for a while, and there's been a lot of like hard energy to kind of face in these people in particular. And I always like to remind myself that this is such a small sample of like the population. We have 3 piles here, you know, these kind of 3 distinct personality types wrapped up in a certain kind of like, you know, pattern or dynamic within themselves. But I don't know if that's for real, because it does feel genuine, like, or authentic, or it's trying to be. Then it's like, okay, maybe that was worth something, you know? It shows that growth. You grow through what you go through, right? Yeah. Okay. Bunny butt. Oh, bunny pee. That no wonder you were drawn in here. All your family is in here. I love bunny butt. I like the bunny. And I do the little butts while you're shaking it. All right. So I'm just going to refresh my my lip gloss, compassion, and move to pile number 2. Two-Faced Tuesdays. Oh my. Pile 1, you think you're being hard on this person. You're not being hard enough. This was a horrible person. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I feel like this is not coming out. Yeah, it sounds like people really went through it. Pile number 1. Okay, so compassion. Are we just starting now? We're just starting pile number 2 now. All right, so pile number 2, the forest. The forest. That sounded like hot pockets. Okay, so pile number 2, what is this person? What do they say about you? Can you guys hear that bird? Very high-pitched bird. I got the cutest birdhouse, just so you know. It has bark on the front and a little tin roof. It's really cute. Okay. Wait, should I? Okay. Well, True Colors is at the bottom of the deck, and also like we have all the colors here in the back. So I feel like you really stand out to this person. You're very vibrant. They might say something about like your colorful personality, or like the colors that you wear, or something. Worried, replaying events. Let me just see, who is this person? Who is this person? We'll kind of get this grounded here. This person just got some type of like hard dose of reality in their life, I think. I feel this person might even be depressed or just like really sad. I'm kind of seeing somebody like in their room, just kind of like stumbling over stuff, not in like a stupor kind of way, but just like in a like lethargic kind of like, who is this person, Spirit? Who is this person? Who is this person? Okay, does this person have money? I am getting that this is definitely a person. There was like some type of trial or tribulation here. For those of you that are on Patreon, the live stream that we're doing tomorrow is justice finally being served. I sort of feel like that's what's going on here with this person. I feel like that's why I'm seeing them like kind of in a dark hole, but it's like their bedroom. And like there's just in the middle of the day, like no lights on. Maybe this person is in some type of stupor, but it just feels like kind of very depressed. But I feel like you went through some type of trial or tribulation with this person, or maybe you didn't. Maybe you just kind of recognized that you needed to gray rock around this person because this just looks very defensive. Like you kind of put together something about this person and you realized that you needed to believe in yourself, like, and believe that you kind of persevere. But I feel like this person's very much shut out of your world. And then we have this justice card that's coming through where this person is getting their justice. I feel like you're getting your justice, I should say. They're getting their just desserts in some way. Like I'm hearing like TikTok. I feel like this person like maybe now currently has a certain like amount of time to try and I feel like come clean and say the truth. But I feel like this person needs to say the truth. And I feel like the truth that they need to say, this is probably why you're curious about this person, is because like what they're saying about you, because this person needs to come clean. They need to say the truth. And the truth for this person is not pleasant. The truth for this person is that they were, I feel like deliberately acting behind the scenes. They were hiding and they were trying to bring about some type of demise for you. They were trying to like frame you. They were trying to hurt you in some way. And this feels like it has something to do with like publicly they were trying to hurt you in some way. I feel like character assassination, to be honest, for a lot of you, they were trying to do that. And so you're asking probably specifically like, you're like, listen, the time is up. I think some of you, maybe you have given this person other chances, or maybe you felt sorry for this person in the past and you kind of did the thing where you're like, okay, well, I understand. Like you knew that this person for some reason made you an enemy but I think you also knew that they maybe have mental health issues or something, but it's not an excuse, to have those mental health issues like run amok and cause harm to other people when there's things that you could kind of do. I just feel like this person was antagonistic. They were negative on purpose. It was coming from a very sour, negative place inside of them. They were trying to frame you for something is what I'm getting, or frame you for being a certain way, but really like you're a great person. Like I can just see this is good, positive energy with Joan of Arc and Isis. Like you have, like you're a very spiritual person, probably whatever spirituality you kind of like connect to. And, I do feel like you're intuitive. You have a touch of the intuition and you just kind of piece certain things together. And for some of you, you rose up from the ashes of what this person tried to bury you in. For some, this person really tried to get you embroiled in something, or they tried to get you tied down in their mess. And, this is a weird person that I still don't understand this energy, but the way that it comes through is like almost like a kind of bonding ritual for this person where they're like obsessed with you. They target you. You stand out, and you do stand out. Like you're, kind of a great person. And this person wants to be like around you. They want to be like up around you. But it's not just enough for them to be around you, because they kind of know that if they were to respect you and like respect your energy and your space and your sovereignty or whatever, you would want nothing to do with this person. Here's what they know for sure, is that you of your own accord would not ever approach this person for a strong one-to-one private relationship. They know that for sure. Because they're not on your level. They're just really not. And they know that. But they also know that they're not trying to be that way. They're not trying to like advance themselves to become kind of like you. So this is a weird obsession, but like they want to be your friend. And so they do this weird thing where they've tried to hurt you in some way in order to bond, in order to kind of like try to patch together a friendship. This to me seems like, let me not say what I was wanting to say. I'm going to say it anyways, because fuck this. This is like a social moron. Like I just feel like they try to get up in it. But what I mean is like, this is not healthy. Like their ways of like trying to put together a friendship is stupid. Like this is not, this person very well could be manipulative. And I mean that in a bad way, but to manipulate means to handle with dexterity. And this person does not move socially like with any kind of dexterity. And they don't understand the basics, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the red, blue, greens of human behavior, like playground shit. Like when I push you in the mud puddle, you don't want to be my friend. And that makes sense. And so I should be a person who doesn't push people in the mud puddle. Stuff like that, they don't understand. And I just ask why. Well, we have Ganesh with the obstacles here. So that is their obstacle to kind of figure out how to make friends. I feel like that is what they're meant to do in this life. And this is probably something that you're good at, is like conversing or making friends. But this is a group that probably like you're naturally very friendly and very social. But over the course of your life, especially if you have too many run-ins with people like this, you'll want to pull your energy back. You might just naturally go into more of like a hermit mode, because this is very confusing for you. It's very antagonistic. It's very overwhelming. It's the exact opposite kind of energy that you have. But I feel like this person, they either want to be rich, and that's why maybe for some of you, that's why this person wants to come towards you, is because they want to make fetch happen, is what I'm getting. Like they want to be chosen. They want to be seen as worthy. They want to, in some way. Now, this could be somebody who wants to seem worthy because, look, okay, we have the actions card with Thor, and like, look at that washboard situation we've got going on there. Like you could cut glass on that, So if this is a guy, or not even, if this is like somebody who is interested in you schmegsually, they want you to think they're a whole snack, and they want you to look at them as like, Thor can lift the hammer, right? Like he's worthy, because this person views you as being like exclusive in some way, that you have to qualify into your energy. So this person is putting on a show because they want you to think like, that's the person who can lift the hammer of my life, and they want you to find them to be attractive and sexy. But this person's trying to put on a show kind of like from a distance. And also like, I don't know, he just looks very silent there. I know he's not like a silent person, but it's like, they just look very silent. I don't know, like kind of looking at you like, do you like this kind of like a thing? And then like with the abundance, because they view this as like having some type of abundance. And I think that it's either you are the abundance, or like you have some type of abundance. It could be that this person comes from money. Like if they have money, I feel like it's not their money. But for a lot of these people, I don't think they have money. I think maybe they think you have money, or that you have some kind of social capital, or something that the people want. I just heard like something that they feel is equivalent to some type of like abundance, like it could even be a skill set that you have, or some of you are in school for something, or like maybe you're just like really competent, because that's what I'm kind of getting, that you're like a bright person, and that you're very well rounded, and that you're smart socially, but you're smart like actual cerebrally as well. And so this person just kind of thinks that you're going somewhere. And, they think that you have this kind of like hammer energy, but they want to like hook their wagon to your star. For some of you, this is a romantic thing. And for others, like it's like a platonic thing where they just want to be in your group and your posse. But this would also be the type of person that wants to be in your group or your posse, like the Mean Girls. I know we used the Mean Girls deck for pile number 1, but it's like they want to be the plastics with you because they want to be like superior or something. But I don't think that you're that way, because look at this energy. Catherine, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks, Jess. Have the best weekend. Thank you. I'm going to try to get out of my funk. But this is such like beautiful energy. This is like a happy, positive person that is genuine, that cares about people. You have no interest in being like a mean girl or being like exclusive. Even if I feel like you're guarded about your energy because you do know that you're a valuable person. You also know that like you have a limited amount of time and bandwidth and things. So whether you're talking about for your friends or for like your romantic partner, you just have a limited amount of bandwidth, and you want to make sure that you're screening for people that are going to give equally to you and not just take. And this is very much like a taker, but they're not trying to position. There's a strategy here. This person has some type of strategy. So what are they saying about you? What are they saying about you? Well, we'll get into that. But I feel like the reason you're asking this question is because this person better be saying that they're sorry and that they're a jerk and that they, I feel like you got away from this person and you've like started expanding. Maybe some of you are wondering if they're talking about that because I feel like what this person wanted something from you that was very low down, like that was very superficial. You know that, and you've gotten away and you've like expanded. Look, legal matters. There is some serious justice energy that needs to happen. And I just get time is up. Time is up for this person. So that tells me that spirit, somebody's guide, something is like really watching this person. And maybe that's like kind of a thing. Maybe this person is about to be put in some type of situation. Maybe it is a legal situation for some of you where it's very much like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? What are you going to say? And I feel like there's repercussions to this. There's repercussions to what this person says about you. They might be saying that they miss you for some of you. That feels like a massive eye roll in this situation. So I think they're maybe trying to get information on you. Okay, because now I'm seeing this person kind of be silent, but they're also like, okay, so this says side hustle, but look at how fervently she is on the internet. I feel like this person's looking up something to like, they're trying to find information online, and like, look at her face where she's like very concentrated, but also like maybe mad, so like this person's very like maybe mad about what it is that they are seeing. They could see that somebody else is interested in you, and they might see that okay, so they could think that somebody else is interested in you and that person, it's like, gonna raise your status in some way. If that's the case, I don't think that's something that you went looking for. I think like, again, this person has already identified you as like a high value person, somebody that's going somewhere in their life. So it could also be, because that was a side hustle card. Multiple incomes, extra earnings, always on my grind. So this person could see you working, and it doesn't necessarily have to be at a job, like maybe you're in school or maybe you're doing a certificate program or something. So it's either they're watching you on your grind, elevating, or they're viewing that you have a secret admirer. But I feel like this person's a secret admirer, but this is like the weird energy about that, because this is like the kind of secret admirer that has this like, it doesn't feel like happy, like when someone has a secret crush on you and it feels like crushy and heavy. This feels like dark and on a computer, like, that kind of energy. Yeah, I do think they're a secret admirer, but I feel like it's like towards their selfishness. Like that's what I mean. It's like tainting the energy. And look, real or fake. So I feel like this person is like all up in their head about you, about like, are you real or are you fake? This is so insane because, again, I feel like you are headed somewhere, but I can see that you're the real deal and you very much try to be the real deal. And if that elevates you in life, fine, but I think you want to live a happy life. I think that you want to make sure that people are treated fairly around you. Like you just tend to the actual nature of your relationships and the actual nature of your skills and the actual nature of your life. And that you would hope in a merit-based society, which I don't know that we live in, but that it would comfort all of us to live in a merit-based society where when you are a genuine person and when you have genuine skills, like that is like kind of what elevates you. And so that's the kind of path I think you've gone down regardless of whether or not it pays off for you. I just think that's who you naturally are. But this person is like watching you and they're, but again, this person has been relegated, I just heard. And I think, isn't that a sports term? Relegated? Like, I remember from watching Ted Lasso. So I think that when the team does poorly,
basically being demoted to the next lower league.
This person has been demoted to the next lower league in some way in their life. So that might be career-wise, but I think this maybe has to do with like you. Like they're not in your inner circle anymore. Like they've been demoted. And I think this is, I don't mean to laugh. I feel like this has been a really hard thing for this person. I think it's totally deserved. I think this person blames you for the fact that they were relegated, but they don't look at their behavior and say, I've been inauthentic, I've been strategic, I tried to take something for this person, or I tried to gain something for myself by being weird around this person. And this authentic person takes one and no one, saw right through it and said no. And I don't even think that you were rude about it, but I do think that you were probably firm about it. And so you were like, no, I will be making the decisions around here. I don't want you in my life. And this person, I think it put them through a hard time. Like, I think it put them through a dark night of the soul. And I think it's exactly what they needed here. But okay, so what is this person saying about you? This person says a lot about you in their mind is the thing. And I think that we've like actually explored that. I'm seeing like the Tasmanian devil from Looney Tunes, where this person gets in a fizz about you. And they take everything like very personally about you too. So it's like you can't even breathe without this person. They're full of themselves and they think that you are way more preoccupied with them than you actually are. So like you'll say, I don't know, I had eggs for breakfast, and this person's like, because you know that I like eggs, like ignoring the fact that like a lot of people like eggs, but like they'll make everything that you do personal and about them, because there's a self-absorption here with this person. It's a self-absorption because it's like they need something from you. They kind of feel entitled to you and they view you as theirs, even though you have not told this person that you are theirs. They want money. I feel like this person wants money, or they're watching you get money. Financial rewards, money rolling in, celebration of success, check cashed. So, but also like the thing that confuses me about this person is that they're seeing you as a well-rounded person who does try to, who works on their skills and who also genuinely like, they do see you as a person who genuinely cares about other people. And then they want to turn around and act surprised when the fruits of that effort come into you. And they want to, and then they get all like kind of in a tizzy, like, oh, well, where did, I bet they, whose D did they suck to get that? Or who, they make it like a bad thing, but they can see that you are a great, that's what draws them into you to begin with. So this is a very confused person. So what they say about you is they say a lot of shit in their mind. It kicks up like kind of like a wind storm, very fast, not like a full tornado, like just one of those like little dust storms, like in the desert or something, kicks up like that. And then it goes away just as soon as they kind of like even think about it. So there's not even, you know what there's not? There's not object permanence around you. There is no, and if you need to look that up to understand what I'm saying, it would probably be worth it. There's no object permanence around you. They are always shifting the way that they kind of think about you. Sunny, thank you so much for the super chat. They are always like shifting the way that they think about you in their mind relative to like stuff that you do that has nothing to do with them. Like you take a breath and this person is like, well, not, you know, and it's like, you're just there breathing, you know, and so is the person next to you. And this person doesn't have any smoke for that person, but like they just have, you are singled out. And there's not, I call this a type of hypocrisy, but it's like, if there's a logical fallacy, this person's mind is really cluttered. They're not making like just neutral observations. So I really wouldn't care what this person says about you. And I think this person, even if this is the kind of person too, where if they did say something about you, I just don't know that it would be taken seriously. Unless people don't know this person very well. But then I think that probably people would think this person is like a bit kooky, a bit, not the most like reliable narrator when it comes to you. Yeah, this is unrequited love, of whatever variety, romantic or platonic. This is unrequited love because I just don't think that you have love for this person. I think they have love bordering on obsession when it comes to you, and they don't know how to handle that. And for some, this person can't admit that you don't love them. Like, and that's not even like sad or a slight or weird. I feel like you don't love them. So this person could be clinging to something like, I don't know, even say, if this person is like, but we're cousins, you have to love me. It's like, I barely fucking know you. And what I do know of you has been unpleasant. So like love is emotion that you feel or you don't feel, you know? And we don't invest in our relationship and you're weird to me. And so do I have endearing feelings towards you? No. And the fact that that would surprise you is strange. That's strange. You're not grounded in reality, you know, but there's something I feel like arbitrary, and it could even be something about your personality, because again, this is very positive energy. Like you're a good person, but because you're a good person, this person, okay. The key part of that sentence, you're a good person, is person. You're a good person. So you being a person means that you have your preferences. You go through life, you like like certain kinds of people, you like certain kinds of music, flavors, right? Like you have preferences. Every person does. But this person thinks wrongly, and I don't know where this comes from, but they strip your personhood from you because you are a good person and they know it, or you've made it known that that is a worthy goal of yours, that you're trying to be a good person. So basically it means that this person feels entitled to your love, to your time, and to your attention. They feel like you should not get to say no to them, that you always have to give them more and more chances, because that's what like good people do. I would argue that that's what stupid people who don't respect themselves do. That's what weak people do, not necessarily good people. That's maybe what nice people do, but that's a nice kind of person in a whack-a-mole kind of energy. Because when you're nice to abusers, we're playing this out on the national stage, on the global stage right now. When you're nice to people who are jerks to other people, are you being nice to the people that they're stepping on? You're sure not. So I would argue that that's not very nice, like, so if you have this kind of like blunted, stunted mental view of things, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this person. And they keep themselves in the dark is what I'm getting. They keep themselves kind of blunted and stunted. Like, they put those things on horses. Like, you ever see like a horse pulling a carriage or something, and they always have those like things on the side so they can't see the cars, or they can't see anything coming up, because that way it doesn't spook them. It's like this person has that. And I don't know why they have that, but it's so that they can't see their own shadow is what I'm getting. So their own shadow. Yeah, this is more ego defense mechanisms. But this person's ego defense mechanisms is like an intentional blindness where they're like, I don't want to see anything other than what I'm trying to look at. I don't want to see the full picture. I don't want to see the holistic picture, because it would be shocking for them. And they would spook, and they would, run off. They would, I don't know, turn towards the car that's coming, because the brain is just like, isn't processing, So what does this person say about you? I bet you it changes. But what does this person say about you? This person definitely would make some type of like comment about you in the moment. And then, you know what else though? I feel like this person probably in certain instances wouldn't even remember what they said. This might be like a very frustrating person, because some of these things may get back to you that, oh yeah, like this person said this or that, like under their breath or like in passing. And then like, if you ever bring it up, this person would be like, I don't remember saying that. And they might be serious. They might be actually serious that they don't remember saying that. But it would be like really intense, and it would be really also like wrong, it would be like also incorrect. And yeah. So what does this person say about you? What does this person say about you? Oh my gosh. I feel like this person is saying that like, they might be saying that you've done well for yourself and you've forgotten about them because you're too good for them. That's not what happened here. This person, any sane, healthy person would not be around this person, not only for their own mental health, but they wouldn't be associated with this person. Like, you don't want to introduce this person to other people, because now these people know a problem, and you don't want to, is that good? Is that nice? Oh, you're so nice, because you invite all the harmful people around innocent people who have their mouth open. Like, no. So that's not what happened. So they definitely misrepresent what happened between the two of you. So I think they might be saying like, oh, well, you just thought that you were too good for them. You moved to the better part of town. You got a better job. Yeah, you moving on up to the east side. That's what they're saying. But they're unbreakable. They're unstoppable. I'm hearing that Sia song. They're making this like really dramatic, like I'm going to get through. And meanwhile, I feel like for a lot of you, this is like unrequited love. This is like where you're like, I don't even think about this person. And it's not even because you hate them. It's just because you don't care. You just don't care. And that's what this person can't like really grapple with, is because they think so highly of you and they care so much about you, but they also I just heard they wanted to ruin your success in some way, but like they viewed you as their kind of overnight success. And it didn't play out that way. They were catfishing you. And they felt that because you were a good person, that their catfish should have been successful. That even if you did suspect that they were not the way that they were presenting themselves, that you didn't have a right to call them out on that, to be alarmed by that, to take protective measures by that. That's truly what this person kind of feels. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This person's like really playing the victim. They're like, I just need to recharge. But I think that this is what this person says, because this person, okay, that guy on the catfish card that I already put back, like he had stubble on his face. He looked really sad. He looked like depleted. So this person I think is isolated and they're kind of going away, but they're blaming this on you in some kind of way, even though, because it's like without you, this person has nothing. But I don't even get a strong bond between the two of you. I'm not getting that at all. But it's like this person put all their hopes on you. This is really deeply unfair. It's also weird. This is a weird person. So they put all of their hopes on you, and then they felt like you took something from them, even though it was yours to begin with, and they're not entitled to it. So really, so this person was isolated or whatever, and they would have been anyways, because they feel isolated from you or your group of friends or whatever. But that's not their anything. It doesn't belong to them. So that's just who they are, is this kind of like maybe outcast. But when they run into people, they say, I'm unbreakable. That person threw me out. Like, so I got like, left out of like my group of friends. This person was not tending that. Even like, say you share a family with this person or something. It's like, they were not, like, maybe you even have kids with this person, and it's like, they never bothered to get to know their kids. They didn't build a relationship with them, but they just assume because they are a member of that family that there's love there for them. Like, it's weird. This is a weird person. So they're just misrepresenting this, however this person can misrepresent. That's what they're doing. Trap. I feel like they're trying to catch people in their trap, but this is like a pity trap. Because this person is a leech. They try to suckle off people. They're depressed. I think they're like replaying events in their mind. They're thinking about you. They feel like you left them. They feel like you didn't give them any closure. They miss you. They feel like you didn't give them any closure. I just feel that is inappropriate. I think whatever closure they needed, you did give them. I think there's a lot of unrequited love here. I think that this person's way more invested in your energy than you are, with them. And I think that any person, any sane person with a level head could look at this situation, look at the way this person is, look at their behavior, look at you and your behavior, and understand that. And that's not what's happening with this person. Karmic lesson. There's definitely a karmic lesson going on here. They want to ask you, oh my gosh, this person wants to ask you about your feelings, like the feelings that you have for them. And I'm just not... I'm just not getting, I don't even know what you would say to this person, because they're not going to drop it. And every single thing that you would say, this person, it's like this person's very emotional over you. And that would not make sense to you. It would not make sense to you. I don't think you have any idea how fixated this person is on you. I don't think you have any idea. I don't think others do either, but I don't think it would take much for them to kind of be like, especially if they were, but that's the problem here. I don't think people were around when the two of you were hanging out, because I don't think there's much of a connection here. I don't think that like you and this person really spent a lot of quality time together, just the two of you. I don't get that. But this person is presenting it like you had this quality relationship or something. And so I think it gives people the wrong impression that like, oh, that's really sad that like that person, lost this person that they had this quality relationship with. And that's not how you view it. Now, even, okay, say that you did have a relationship with this person. Like say you were living together and you had kids together or something. This has been distant for a while and you know it. Like it's like you don't have an actual human connection with this person. It's kind of like this person, I don't know, was like laying in bed, peeing in a cup, playing video games all day while you got up, went to work, maintained friendships, got your kids where they needed to go. It's like you were the only functioning part of that relationship. And so did they know like your inner, this feels weird. And maybe that's why you're asking this question. Like, what are they saying about you? Oh my gosh. They're talking about your boundaries, but again, like this is not a reliable narrator. They're saying that you were very firm with them, that you said no Or maybe they're saying that they held up some type of, that's definitely not true. But I think for most of you, they're saying that you put up some type of firm boundary. I think this person, oh my gosh. I think this person is saying that like, okay, we have the deep fake card and it says convincing lies, altered truths, virtual deception, seeing is no longer believing. I think that they're saying that you're not the way that you present, which is as a very good person, because I can just see that you are a very good person. So they're saying that they're breaking the cycles, that they're having to, but this is just a liar. This is just somebody who's outright lying. This is you. I feel like this is you, where you're just trying to heal from this. You're totally happy. You need to rest from this person. Like, yeah. And you're working towards like, look at the luxury life. This person really sees you like living in the lap of luxury, whether or not you do or not. I just feel like your life is better off than this person's. Like it's sunnier on your side of things. You seem to have people that care about you, and you're working to build your life in a direction that you want. And this person just wants that, really. It's like, I don't even think that it's about you so much as like they want what you have. Whether that is, again, it's like a kind of social wealth, but also potentially some of you have money, or this person thinks that you have money. It's just so selfish. And this is a weird person. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. So that was pile number 2. That was pile number 2. What a weirdo. Weird. Ugh. I'm so done with their wand energy. You are correct. You are correct. Sick of envious people. Yeah, that is definitely a person who's envious of you and your energy. And it's also very frustrating because this person won't do anything to help themselves. They just want to take from other people, and they weirdly feel entitled to it, and your energy in particular. And this person has a weird view of good people. Yeah. Back from my tattoo appointment. Just in time for the clown pile. What'd you get for your tattoo? I have a tattoo that I need to get removed. And I was thinking about covering it up, but I think maybe I'll just get it removed. If you haven't done so already, remember to like the live. Thank you so much. Okay. So I'm just going to take a second. We'll just spray this and then we'll move on to pile number 3. And I'm going to clear the space with a little bunny butt. Bunny butt, bunny butt, bunny butt, a bunny butt, bunny butt, bunny butt. Okay. Oh, you got a stork. Interesting. Love thyself. Single white female vibes for sure. Oh, yeah. That's definitely. Oh, yeah. Okay. Shall we move to pile number 3? Hopefully it's better than pile number 2. All right. Pile number 3. Pile number 3. Okay. So let's start by asking who this person is. Okay, Spirit. Who is this person that pile number 3 is asking about? We'll get a good look at them. We'll put them in their context, and then we'll understand what they have to say from there. Who is pile number 3? Spirit, who is pile number 3? Okay, I just want to shuffle this again because I did see a comment and it's kind of lining up exactly with that, but I just want to make sure that I didn't taint this in any way. So, okay, so for pile number 3, Spirit, who is this person? Who is this person they're asking about pile number 3? Who's this person and what are they saying about them? Who's this person saying? Okay. Okay. So spirit is blowing the whistle on this person because there's something about them that's trying to hide. And I don't know if they're hiding in plain sight or if they're like actually trying to like hide and maybe like just kind of watch you on your social media kind of a thing. But this is a person who is very bothered about your independence and like your confidence and your strength. When I was shuffling the first time, I saw the Emperor and the Ten of Cups. So that's very much giving like family vibes, you know, like Emperor is very much like some type of masculine figure in a family. So either this is like maybe like a husband or a spouse or like somebody that you were living with or that you have a family with, or maybe this is like a father figure or something here like that. But, also with this, like somebody who's very bothered about your independence. I just heard state of independence. And they are feeling in control, or that it angers them because of that Emperor kind of energy. Look, King of Swords. So, but this person doesn't know what to do about it. And they're kind of icy cold about it. And they're thinking about it. It's very much like, I just heard Ursula in my mind. You belong to me. They also view you as getting some type of like success by like, but like there's a movement to that success. And I think it's a physical movement, like somehow moving away. They feel like there's an ending to this and they're not ready to let go. So this is, they're not ready to let go. So they're very much watching you. This is maybe somebody who's struggling with a breakup. Okay. Who is this person? Who else is this person? Okay, well, you're definitely their wish fulfillment. This is, you know what this gives me vibes of? You know how a lot of women have been talking recently about how a lot of men equate masculinity with dominance, and especially dominance like over women. So in order to kind of, I don't know, prove themselves as a man or like validate themselves, they go after a type of woman that doesn't want them or doesn't want the life that they want or something, because they want to like bring her under their control. So like a woman who wants her independence, a woman who, you know, wants a relationship but doesn't want to be like submissive or something here like that. There's something like that going on here where I feel like you and your independence or something, you don't want to be brought under this person's control, but that's what they like. That is a feature, not a bug. Like they want to go after somebody who is strong. This is a bit intense, okay? So like they want to go after somebody who is strong and who is independent and who will kind of say no to them in order to like not really like crush their spirit, but like get them under their control. And that's like what this person's doing. So the fact that you have made moves to get away from this person seems to make them want you more, seems to make them want you stronger. This is kind of scary. Okay, who is this person? Gosh. Okay, well, this person does see that you have options, but this person, it like gets angry about that. Like this might be a person who would fight people like that, that they notice they're kind of interested in you, but they feel like they have some type of like top spot here. And this is somebody who maybe views themselves as being over you, like being more important than you. They think that they have like the biggest wand. And I don't think I mean that literally. I think this person wants to have that energy because this feels to me like small d energy's version of big D energy. That's what it seems like. This, you know, like the phrase that's like, this is a, again, we have a very, we have a lot of examples of this in our world now, but like a stupid person's version of a smart person, a terrible leader's version of a good leader. A weak person's version of a strong person. There's that kind of vibe coming off of this person, but they're actually feeling nervous and anxious up in their head about you getting away from them. So what is this person saying about you? Another very quiet energy. What is this person saying about you, though? Well, they're saying that things are over, and they're saying that things ended really badly. Possibly a marriage here. They're possibly saying like things were happy. I just heard, and we were happy. So this person, this is very much a guy. You know that, again, a lot of women are kind of speaking out about this. Like the men who are like, the divorce came out of nowhere. I'm just so surprised. Like there were no signs along the way. Everything was so happy. Whereas I feel like you have a different story. Like this was not Things were not happy. This is a very controlling person. I just feel like this person tried to snuff out your individuality in order to turn you into like whatever they wanted you to be, their version of a womanhood, their version of success, their version of what life should be. They tried to contort you, and maybe they did convince you for a while that if you just kind of gave in to like their desires, or if you became that's all you really needed to do, and that everything was going to like work out, and that they would take care of everything else. But really this was just about control, and this really isn't an impressive person, to be honest. This is not a person who has their shit together. This isn't a person who really could kind of like I don't know, provide, because if they had other means of masculinity, like obtaining their masculinity. I was just telling Alex this where I noticed that there's probably more, but I've noticed that there's like two camps of men and the way that they relate to their masculinity. And one is this kind of man who equates masculinity with dominance, in particular dominance over women. And they have this way of alienating. I mean, they form friendships with other men, like they start conversations with them based on putting women, but also other kinds of people down that they feel like they have dominance over, that they should have dominance over. So they alienate. Women are over half the population of the world. So right off the bat, if they are going after women, they alienate over half the population of the world. Not to mention like other people that they just feel like they should have some type of dominance. So the way that they try to bond with like other men, it's just very alienating, and it fractures the society, like the social fabric of things. But they don't really think too deeply about that because, again, they need to be masculine above all else, and they equate that with dominance. There's another kind of man who is a healthier version, who equates their masculinity with virtue. And I was saying to him, like, my dad's not the greatest person, but I lived a lot with my grandparents when I was with him, and my grandpa, who again wasn't the best kind of person, but what he did, what I feel like helped me a lot, is that he did have an image of his of masculinity just in general and what it is that was associated with virtue. And he was a Christian, and he did try to read the Bible. And even though like I would say that he's missing the mark in a lot of ways, there was a genuineness there. There was like, he really actually did try, to be a good person. And he would always get these books of virtues, and they would always be like around the house. So like, I would always be reading about like honesty and integrity, but that was always equated with the masculine path in my house. And I remember thinking like, but I resonate with that. Like, I want to, like, I remember reading like through his book of virtues, and it was like, honesty and like integrity and like wanting to be like that, but I remember that being very much associated with, this is the masculine path. This is what men are supposed to do to show and prove and develop their masculinity. So there's these two kind of camps. This person is very much in the camp of masculinity equals dominance kind of just crap. It has to do with their childhood. This is also the type of person who wants kids, but they don't want to be a husband, and they don't want to be a father, because those are like roles that they would have to like work hard. They're skills that they would have to like work hard to try to be. They want to have kids, and they want you to be a wife, mostly because that chains you down. But it's just, to them, it's about their image. So they would want to saddle you with a lot of work, basically, and a lot of responsibilities. They would want to tell you that you need to be doing things like this way or that way. Do they have any life experience in regards of that? No. Do they check their own like biases against anything? No. They're not like really trying, but so they're saying that things ended like very badly. This is, emperor wannabe. This is an emperor wannabe. So they're just really saying, they have a lot of bitterness there. I think they're trying to make it seem like you ended things and it didn't need to be that way. And it doesn't make any sense that things are that way. Again, it's just kind of gaslighting. I just heard weaponization. They try to weaponize like, I don't know. But I can tell that you are not happy in this relationship. I just feel like this is a person who does not take your pain or your inner experiences or your hopes, your goals, your dreams seriously at all, because they set out from the jump to mold you into what they wanted you to be. So all of this is violent, like from the jump. They were never interested in getting to know you as a person, honoring your personhood. They were never interested in that. And I think that is where they had you fooled, because they would make the right noises at some point. Or they would tell you that they loved you, and they would tell you that they cared about you. But this would be a person where, I feel like we all learn this at some point in life, where a lot of times people say words and they mean one thing to us, but they mean something else to them. So when this person would say that they wanted a family, you thought that they meant a functioning family. You thought that meant they wanted to be involved. You thought that meant that they wanted to see their kids do well, and that they were going to like sacrifice in order to make that happen, that you guys are both on the same page, that you both want to devote yourselves to that. But really this person just wanted to have kids, and they really wanted those kids to be like your responsibility, you know, but they want to be associated. They want to have the picture that they can sit on the mantle. They want to have that on their desk because it's just superficial kind of a thing, you know? So this person would say words like, oh, I love you, you know? And what they mean is, you service me. You serve my purposes. I appreciate the hamburger that we ate last night. It was well seasoned. Like they mean weird shit like that. And they don't mean that like they love you. They're connected with you. You're not an individual to this person. They were going to hammer. I feel like this person probably, is very schmegally driven, but I think they're very attracted to you, and like maybe you fit some type of mold. And so you didn't realize that, I don't think. Because I think you didn't realize this person sort of operated this way. Because you thought like when they would say that they love you, that means like they care about you. They want you to be happy. But this person, and it's hard to say if they just subscribe to a kind of worldview where they're like, if you just do everything that I say and just allow me to morph you, this will like equate happiness. Because I know like, especially a lot of us that come from like religious traditions, this is why people say that the patriarchy hurts everybody. Because it could be that they're like, well, I don't know. This is what they said. This is what they said. This is what they said. My family said that to me. My church said that to me, that if I just hammered my wife into submission, that wives are supposed to be submitted, then that's the key to happiness. And how would I know any different? Because if you do every single thing that I want, I'm pretty happy, and I'm told that that's supposed to make you happy. Does it hold a candle to truth? No, but they're just taught not to see you as a person. It's like, again, I'm hearing another quote where it's like, I'm seeing the scene play out in a movie where he says something to her that's like, it's not personal. And she's like, it's not personal? My God, you might actually believe that. When like everything about this is personal, where they're just erasing your entire identity. They're not, yeah. This is like a whole mess. This is like a whole knotted mess. So what else is this person saying about you? I feel like they keep it short, and they keep it kind of, it packs a punch, whatever they say. Oh yeah, well, you know, and they make you out to seem crazy, or they make you out to be acting irrationally, when actually that wasn't the truth of the situation at all. And this person didn't want to see that. And that's exactly why you got divorced or whatever. What are they saying? Oh my gosh. They're saying bad things about like your personality. Cause like, I feel like you came out strong. I also feel like you came out noble, but they're saying like, I don't know, something needs to change about that. And, they might be saying something about money, like that, something about like their investments, or like, I don't know. They really can't make sense of this though. Like truly this person like is up in their head. They can't make heads or tails of this. Because they feel like you're the Empress. They feel like you're the Queen of Pentacles. But then again, there was a judgment on the situation. So whatever they're relating to in you, they think that there's this part of you that is just, that you're like, I don't know, like this Two of Pentacles, right? There's these two sides of you. And they're looking at this other side that is like very much come out. And I feel like it's because you were trying to go with the program. Maybe you grew up in the same kind of situation. You were like, they told me to be submissive. I don't know. I tried it and it was just miserable. It was just fucking miserable. And there I was just wasting away. And this guy that tells me he loves me every single day is, doesn't notice or care, like, you know, and I feel like you went a little nuts. And, but I don't feel like you ever acted nuts. I feel like you were probably the glue that held everything together. And, oh my gosh. They're wondering if there's somebody else. They're wondering if there's somebody else. I'm hearing that Sierra song. It's like, the problem here is you. Ain't nobody new. Yeah, not messing with my crew. The problem here is you. And if you only knew how I felt for you, you would have held on tighter, fought a little harder, been a little smarter, but now you're going to miss my love. It's like, if you knew how much I loved you, you would have tried in this situation. You would have poured your heart and motherfucking soul into this situation. If you knew how far I would go. And that they know that that's that part of you. But yet they know thinky too good. Like this person really is not like putting it together, because they see you as the Empress. They know that you're very loving. They know that you are the Queen of Pentacles, that you've like worked hard to build something like possibly for yourself or like together. And they know that like that's important to you. But at the same time, so they're like, so why are you then throwing this away? they can't quite piece together that it's like they were so lacking and they were it was bad. And it went on for a long period of time where they were not giving you what you needed and that you did hold on. Like the problem here is you. That's what you're saying. Ain't nobody new could take the place of you. The problem here is you. The problem here is you. This person's very confused by that. Okay, what else is this person saying? I feel like they try to keep it short because they act like they're confused. In order to not prompt the people that they're talking to, because there might be some shared friends, they don't want to prompt them to look too deeply at them. They don't want to even hint that they were the problem. If anything, they would say like, yeah, she said that it was this or that, but I think that there's another man. Or I think that because it couldn't possibly be that I came up short because she was just supposed to submit to me. She was supposed to be brain dead, heart dead, body dead. She was supposed to lay there and just let me do stuff to her. She was supposed to be fish eyes, dead eyes. Like this is supposed to be her. Little drool coming out of her mouth. And I don't know why she couldn't just be that. It's not like it's hard. It's not like what I was asking her for was hard. It feels like that, So they're blaming everything on you. And they try to shut down the conversation more than anything. So that tells me that there's like, you'll come up in conversation. Like there's probably a friend group. I don't think these people particularly buy it. I think they probably just allow it to be swept under the rug as to avoid any kind of like awkward conversation. And some of these people maybe have spoken to you and they do understand your side of it. And they, especially if some of these people that you're talking to are women, I feel like they kind of are like, okay, Ralph, like Wreck-It Ralph over here. Still wrecking it, Okay. I feel like they just keep it short. They play confused. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And the reason that they're saying that they don't know is because the emotions that were expressed here is plutonic emotions, like very deep, very intense, very heavy emotions that were repressed for like a long period of time. And they insisted that you repress those emotions. And that was basically how the two of you kind of got along. And so also I feel like this is not a person who's particularly comfortable with emotions. That's not the way that they've been told or like chosen to navigate their life is like, or their relationships, like, oh, well, we have to talk about our problems. You might have even this could have been a big wake up call for you because I don't know, like you might have thought that I don't know, you could have had conversations with this person where you thought that you were like on the same page. But I think the main problem is this person just never took you seriously. They were like, and they went through the motions of like listening, but they never ever intended to change because of their place. They feel like this is their place in the world. So it didn't do any good. This person, like, the therapy speak of like, well, you need to talk about things. This person was like, okay, well, we talked about it, So in a way, they are baffled. In a way, they're baffled, but like, they just have no, like, are you joking? Like, that's probably how you feel about this person. There's just no getting through to them. And it's because they don't want to go there. They just don't want to go there. And that's essentially why everything broke down. Okay. Anything else? They do feel shame. They do feel like sensitive and emotional about this. And they block feeling that way with their confusion. And they block off even like people talking about it, which would then potentially like bring up their emotions. This is like, they're locked down. This person's like really, really locked down. They do recognize that you're a very loving person, but I think they're just saying that you're blocked off. You don't show them that kind of loving side anymore, but I don't think that they're saying that you're not that. I think that they're just saying that, I don't know, there was this whole other side of you. It seemed to come out of nowhere. But this is kind of very like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like those women, right? Those emotions, right? Mystical. Like they don't follow any sort of like, it just came out of nowhere. Like that's kind of what they're saying. It just completely came out of nowhere. And that is the biggest indictment on this person. If anybody has half a brain when it comes to social emotional intelligence, I feel like that's a ding, ding, ding right there. It just completely came out of nowhere, They weren't fair or balanced. They weren't having a real relationship. They feel like you challenged them. They feel like you moving away was you challenging their power. I just saw a bull. Like maybe this person they could have Taurus or like Aries Taurus in their chart, like Critica kind of energy, which is like the birthplace of the sun kind of energy. They feel like you abandoned them. They feel like they're playing the victim, but this is in a very masculine, aggressive sort of way. confused sort of way. It's they're still like holding on to their power and their position, and they're basically saying like the undercurrent of everything that they're saying is, I did the role that I was supposed to do. I was strong with her. I bullied her. I eroded her sense of identity, just like the church told me to do. And something must be wrong with her because that didn't work. Not that there must be something wrong with that advice. That must be a guide to how to abuse someone, not how to have a healthy relationship. And that's why it didn't work. This person is obligated, I just heard. They could be saying something about your friends. This person is trying to figure out what went wrong. And it's not that they were lacking in any way, but they keep thinking like there must have been another man, or there must have been like friends that she was hanging out with. And what were those friends saying? What ideas were they putting in her head? I'm sorry. This is so stupid. Okay. Oh my gosh. Where would you even start with this person? I don't know. Where would you even start with this person? Because this person would entertain a conversation with you. They think you're a lesser being. And so they would just placate you the whole time. And they would be like, so you had an emotion and it was sad. And they would act like they're kind of hearing you, but nothing would ever change. And that would be the end of it. Like there would be one conversation that you have to initiate, but this person maybe they would initiate it, but it would be very passive in the way that they initiated it. Like, so, I heard we should talk about our emotions and stuff. And then like you would basically be initiating it after that. And oh my gosh. This would be a person who very much the woman, whoever they're with, would be the head of the household. She would make everybody's doctor's appointments. She would keep the schedule. She would make everybody's breakfast. She would run that household. Without her, that household would fall apart. But this man would act like he is the leader of the household, when basically what he does, if that, is go bring a paycheck home to contribute to the pile of shit that she has to then manage. And she probably has a job too. But then he wants to act like he's in any way a leader of anything. And he's just not. He's situated his life where he gets in a follower mode, where all he has to do is wake up, go to the same job, and collect a paycheck. That's the only thing he's really required to do. And he doesn't need to come up with the routines. He doesn't need to see what, do the labor of figuring out what works for, all three of your different kids, and they have their different allergies and their different preferences. And, two of them are in this school and one of them now goes to the junior high. And, so that means we got to get out the house. No. And then so-and-so's got soccer practice and we're going to really cut it close. So if I don't leave, but they just want to be told what to do. But then they want to also have the esteem of, I run this. So there's this unspoken thing where it's like, we don't talk about the reality. Reality's off limits for this person. We don't talk about the reality of anything. That they don't know anything. They don't initiate anything. Ugh. So that's what they're saying. They're keeping it short. They're keeping it confused. But then like in the back of their mind, they always kind of think like, well, what actually happened? It must have been another guy. It must have been that her friends were saying something. They got into her mind about all those like liberal ideas that maybe she should be happy and maybe she should like get to express her emotions, and that maybe it's not okay that I don't help out around the house. Like, and that's why our family fell apart. And gosh, like we don't have family values anymore. Like that. There's no acknowledgement of the fact that he's not expressing family values. This is what I think, if I can just like go off for a second, this is one of the biggest evils that I think are in our world, or let me just say in America where I live, is there's a lot of crap like on the news. And personally, I think that that's very intentional to keep us like very much divided. So this is somebody who does not understand the absolute importance of like nailing down the language, where it's like, if somebody is a predator and they hide by trying to pretend like they're trans. This is a person who's like, we got a real problem with trans people. Leave them out of it. Because if some predator is hiding under that, then the trans people were victimized by that as well. So they're also victims. So what you need to say is we have a real problem with predators who will find any way to abuse people that they can. And how do we crack down on that? They'll have one experience. They'll be like, oh yeah, well, I mean, you can't deny that I had like this really, really bad experience with this one person. And then they paint everybody in that group with that same brush. And by the way, if you have a problem with that, then you have a problem with like than with me. You think that I should be. And it's like, no, I just think that if you had a problem with one person or two people, that you say that. And you say, I had a problem with this particular person under these particular conditions. And I need you to understand that if you try to blow that up and like broaden that out, then yeah, you're in the realm of bigotry. Yes, you absolutely are. Because you why are you classifying that? You know, but this is somebody who but they do the same thing with family is what I'm getting at. Like this is probably a very racist person. They probably don't understand. They're probably a very misogynistic person. They probably don't understand because they have like little loops and things in their brain where they don't really hear the patterns that they kind of like actually like follow and talk through and the beliefs that they actually kind of hold. But this person does the same thing with family. They'll do the same thing with the things that they claim to value, which are really just they virtue signal with like the things that they claim to value because this person doesn't actually value family. Like that's what I'm getting at is like this person never wanted to be a husband because you'd have to learn how to be a partner and they definitely haven't done that. I think this person has a kink of being like a powerful father figure, but that's all it is. It's a kink. It's not an actual virtue. But that's why they put it forward is because it turns them on to think of themselves that way and to think that you view them that way. But this person doesn't want to, like I said, family, like they also don't want to be a father. Because again, that comes with skills and sacrifices and responsibilities. It means staying up late. It means helping them with their homework. No, it's just a kink and where they virtue signal for their community and they fantasize about being seen in a certain way, but really not having to do or give much. And so they don't narrow down like they're not specific enough with their language and it causes problems. It causes problems where this person will, they don't see the world clearly. And they also don't communicate themselves very clearly as well. And when you're going to share your life with people, even platonically, or if you're going to have a partner, you're going to have kids around, you have to be able to communicate clearly. Your own self, your own emotions, and you need to be able to communicate clearly to help you understand other people's emotions so that you can get to the root of like solving problems and making sure that everybody is like comfortable and seen, you know, and on a nuclear level, that's like within the family. On a collective level, that's like within the society that you live in. There's got to be a little give and a little go, but you have to be able to do that inner reflecting work to say, oh, I understand how the way that I'm talking about this is problematic. Or I understand the way that I'm kind of thinking about this. And I'm willing to be checked because I'm hearing that it's hurting you and that it's not like so entirely clear. This person can't do that because they have too much hubris. And once this person is wrong, they'll never like walk it back. So this is a problem and a half, but this is also a person who just thinks very highly of themselves. They have to think very highly of themselves. Yeah. So this is the worst kind of man. Yeah. They're kind of the worst kind of man because they think that they're being a good man. They think that they're like the best kind of man when they're actually not. Yeah. He carries his baggage with him. Yeah. They call me a psycho for calling him on his shit. And that would be people that are indoctrinated because this is like an indoctrination. And they're really clinging to whatever that is. I think for a lot of you, this is religious. They're clinging out of fear. And they can't see the people who can like actually deconstruct their beliefs and separate the baby from the bathwater. Because I feel like that's what you're trying to tell this person. This bathwater is dirty. We got to clean this bathwater. But this is a person who keeps bathing the baby in the dirty bathwater. They don't like kind of change it out. And they're like, then they'll sit there and say to you, like, you want me to, they'll represent you this way. They're like, you want me to throw the baby out with the bathwater? Can you believe her? And that's not at all what you said. That's not at all what you said. You know, but you are just trying to point out that you're not doing the thing that you think you're doing. To clean the baby has to go in the clean water, not the bacteria water. So you got to get that out. You know, like, so, I don't know. This person, they get all confused. And so having a conversation with this person wouldn't really even be productive anyways. Because too many things are glued together. Like the positives and the negatives are like fused together with this person. And it's that way out of fear. And I bet you anything there's some type of like indoctrination. But so it's an indoctrination where this person really wants to fit in with a certain group and they want to virtue signal to a certain group that they have certain traits. Rather than just embodying those traits like kind of authentically and engaging in this kind of process with a lot of different people where they're actually getting like independent feedback on themselves. And I feel like this person's just like very defensive, just right out the gate. There won't be any modicum of like actual reflection that kind of like goes on. Yeah. This is also someone I feel like you would feel like you didn't have closure with genuinely, because they're incapable of a lot of the basic building block stuff. So you would just feel like you don't have closure because they can't. You would wonder about this person. You would wonder, like, what is their actual heart like? And I think, like, for a lot of you, you would realize that maybe with this person, you just got this indoctrinated version. Some of these people have a problem with alcohol. And I think this person has heard news about you that you are happy single. And that confuses them as well. And they feel abandoned by you. I think I already said that, but maybe for some of you, like, you started to focus on your career or something, and this person is like, huh? And maybe that's not really the life that you wanted, but you also are not going to sit and be abused, and you're not going to demonstrate that to your kids. They are like, oh my gosh, is this your true colors? But I feel like, again, there's nuance here. This person's like a black and white thinker, and they just are not processing well. This person can have a secret schmegs addiction. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. It might have been something a little harder than that. Yeah. At peace without him. Nice. Yeah, because that probably was like feeding your own addiction. Okay. That was a lot. What is this closure? All lessons. Pile 3 girlies are divas. Yeah. You've probably unpacked and deconstructed a lot of like your own worldview and beliefs. By the way, if you are a person who was with a pile number 3 person, this is probably a very scary journey and one that you did have to take alone. And I imagine that it was very confusing because you're like, I am doing all of the right things. Why is it not working out? Also, what's her name? There's this woman. Okay, so there's a phenomenon in our society with the whole trad wife thing. Like, there for a while we had a bunch of these like so-called trad wives, but a lot of them were in their 20s, and a lot of them were like stay-at-home girlfriends, or they had never really been married before. And then now we have like actual trad wives that are coming out and like really sharing their stories about what actually happened. And there's this one that I love, Life Take Two. I love her, listening to her, because she did everything she was supposed to do. And so much of it was like ABUSE, and she didn't realize it. And she just talks about how like she was indoctrinated. She did everything that she was supposed to do. She was completely miserable. And, how that turned out, she had like 5 kids. She had 4 of her own biological kids. They adopted a 5th one. And he threw her out, and she wasn't getting child support. She didn't get any alimony, even though that they had like lived this very successful life. She was living in her car, and so she really is educating women about how important it is to make sure that you always have your own skills, you keep your skill sets up, that you're able to get a job, that you put some money away from yourself, that, that yes, that you do have like these prenuptial agreements, but understand that I can't remember what the percentages are about the people who actually pay their child support and who actually pay like alimony that they're supposed to pay. It's very, very low. And you have to even take them to court to be able to do that. So I don't know, but there's a lot of people that are sharing their stories about that are just encouraging women. Like, there is a reason that your mamas and your grandmothers fought for us to have like bank accounts and access to our own money. I mean, it was like the 70s or like the 80s when women could get their own bank accounts. It was not very long ago. So just make sure that you are like taking care of yourself. And pile number 3, it's like that person you would think like very much loves you, but really it's kind of about this domination and this like virtue signaling. And that would probably really catch you off guard, especially if you believe in the same things that this person claims that they believed in. But you would just have a very different view, a cooperative view, a view where your humanity is considered. And it would shock you that like, that's not what's going on here with this person. So new life at 50. Yeah. Yeah. There was another woman that I was listening tell her story, and her and her husband had moved here from some country in Central America, I think, and he became very successful, and like they owned their own business and everything. They had several kids that and they stayed together until their kids left high school and went to college, or maybe like it was when they graduated college. And then it all came out that he had been having affairs their entire marriage. And she was shocked because I guess like wherever they were from, like in their village or whatever, she was like considered a great beauty, and he was like not really like on that same level or whatever. And she just thought that like he would be nice to her because she had like a lot of value and everything. And it was nice of her to like kind of give him a chance and to see through, the differences between them. And so then like once he got her away from her family, and then he became successful, it came out that like their entire marriage, even though he was very kind to her, like to her face, like he was always having affairs, and then he left her for like this 20-year-old. But before, he had been moving all of their stuff, and he told her that they were going to retire. They had always had a plan to retire back in the country that they were from. And so he told her that he was moving it all there, and he was, but it was for him and his mistress. So then he divorced her and like moved with the mistress after he sold his business, and they retired in luxury. And she was like around like 50 or 60 and didn't have any job experience and was stuck here in America, and had to go to like this job office where then she had to figure out how to get employment. But she did. And actually, I think it was the lady who helped her that was telling this story, and that really stuck with her. And that last she heard, she was doing great and she had gotten several promotions and everything. But it's just so wrong. It is just so wrong. And a lot of times the women that happens to, it's like they do have very strong values around like family, and like they don't want to disrupt that. So like her kids, you know, she didn't want to go after their dad or anything. So it's like she's just left not getting any of her justice. And I tell you, it just makes me so mad. Okay. 1972. That's just 50 years of financial independence for women. Yeah. And the Civil Rights Act, you know, that was 1960s. We have not had a lot of our freedom. Like I don't know. I say this to Alex. I'm like, I feel so stupid and like very guilty, because I genuinely believed in the myth of progress. Like I actually believed that like we started as cavemen, and we made some grunt sounds at each other, and then like we kept growing and we kept evolving and we kept like learning and we kept being like better and better and better. But realizing that it's not really like that, is it? Like you can like backtrack, and yeah, like some people do and some people don't learn and want to grow and be better. So I don't know. I'm feeling like a pain in my back right now. I want to okay, so let's move into the general messages, because who is this that I'm listening to? Because I feel like as I'm saying this, like there's kind of like tears. Somebody's very rigid, like in their energy. Bring back Martin Luther King. Yeah. I saw that they did like some type of march in Selma recently. By the way, okay, so I listen to a lot of Martin Luther King, like his speeches. My favorites are like the Two Americas and what's the other one? Two Americas and but if you listen to them even now, it's like they're evergreen. In one, he talks about like the technology and like that being separated out. Okay, anyways. Okay, so let's go to the general messages, Spirit. What messages? Are there any safe men out here? There are. There really are. Find one that like associates their masculinity with virtue is like the best, and not dominance. And I don't know how you'd suss that out, but okay. What general messages do you have, Spirit? Somebody here is sorry. They're making their energy very small. And they're saying like that they're so sorry. But it's like very small. Who is this? And I feel them kind of crying. But it's all kind of bottled up in them, because I do feel like there's some type of shame here. They want to tell the truth. They're like having a lot of anxiety here. Okay, about maybe some type of inequality. Something to do with like money. Yeah, there's a way that this is coming across. But I don't want to say what it is quite just yet. Okay, this person has like learned a lot. This is coming across as somebody who didn't see the world clearly, let's just say, and made some bad decisions that may be affecting all of us right now. Somebody who maybe supported somebody that they should not have supported because they didn't really understand. It's coming across like that. Now, it doesn't have to be that specific thing. Okay, I just heard thank you so much, and like it felt a relief from their chest. I feel like this person's wanting to apologize. They walked away They could have walked away. Okay, so there's somebody that's coming through that I feel like walked away from you. You were very stable. You were like delivering some type of wisdom. Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. Almost missed you. Hope you guys feel my love in the ethers. Bunny butts have a snack now. Yes, they do. So I feel like somebody here is wanting to apologize for... Okay, so it doesn't have to be the voting thing, okay? But somebody here is like feeling very... They're feeling sorry about some type of like argument that the two of you had, where now they can kind of see what you were trying to say. In terms of this like Queen of Pentacles energy. So like you were in some type of like stable energy. Maybe you were even like very intuitive. You were very balanced in like your thought processes, and this person is feeling very bad about like the argument that they had, the position that they took relative to you. And I feel like they just kind of left in some way. They just kind of like the Fool card energy. They just kind of like took a leap of faith out of there, and they just kind of dismissed something. They just dismissed it, and they went a different way. And possibly they could have even reunited with somebody here. They could have reunited with somebody. They feel like it messed things up. It changed their fate lines. Somebody is feeling very, very bad. They're feeling so sorry. Possibly like they left you with like, what is this Six of Pentacles about? Maybe, okay, so for some of you, I think this person feels taken advantage of. Because the Six of Pentacles could be like Rohini energy. And Rohini energy, I always think of like Marilyn Monroe. And this kind of like born sexy yesterday. So I think for some, like this person has this kind of energy of like being born sexy yesterday. Maybe they are very attractive, but because it's funny, Rohini energy is actually very smart. And they usually kind of catch on. So I feel like maybe they jumped in with somebody here. There was like maybe something sexy, something kind of kinky kind of playing out here. And I feel like they jumped in, they followed their kinks and not their virtues. I think in the ethers, like maybe that really resonated with this person when I said that. It's not their principles. It's not their virtues. It's not their values. They thought it was their values that they were following, but it was actually like their kinks in some way. And I think something here made them feel really sexy or like valued in some type of way, or because I think this person is maybe, I don't know, different. I don't know. Or they went for somebody that was kind of like different. So they jumped out and away from you. And you were they're realizing now that you're the Queen of Pentacles. So you were very calm, very confident, very happy. Things were bright, growing around you. And you had an even like temper, but even like your right and your left hemisphere were like kind of really working together in what you were doing or what you were like saying to this person. And they like jumped out and away. But there was some type of like sneaking energy that they jumped in with. And I don't think that whoever they were with told them to block you necessarily or like to move away from you. But I think that it was just, they moved, they were defensive. Like this person was like defensive and maybe they wanted to like kind of go out on their own. But like things, okay, so somebody here is just feeling really bad. Things ended really poorly between the two of you. And it has something to do with like the split, but also like maybe even like I just heard separation of church and state, but I feel like this is the separation of your goods, like your money, your material goods. Like this person like left you in like the lurch or something here. Or it could be that they left you for somebody like maybe with more money or something like that. I don't know. But this has been like a real revelation for this person. They're seeing something clearly now that they didn't see in the past. And it's making this person feel very regretful. And they want to say that they're sorry. But also their energy feels like very small. Very like, hi, sorry. You know, it's almost like, okay, it's almost like the way that things ended between the two of you. There was just this like split, right? And it was a permanent ending split. But they didn't do what they needed to do. Like the conversation, there should have been a conversation here. It didn't go. I feel like, again, this person was very like flippant, very dismissive, very much like didn't treat you as like worthy or something. So they moved on with their life. And so this chapter has kind of like closed, but this person has since like learned something. They've seen something differently. And it really somehow has to do with your situation. And it might have been something to do with like the person that they moved on with, the person that they left you for. They've learned something in their life, and it really applies to your situation. And this person has seen it all differently now. It could be that they're getting a divorce from like whoever they moved on with. That person is not at all treating them the way that you did. But they're feeling really sorry, but they feel small in their voice. Like they can't really say it because I think it'd be weird for this person to reach out, but they do want to say that they're sorry. And now they're looking at you. You look a lot bigger to this person. You look a lot bigger to this person. You look a lot more in charge. You look a lot more like you've got a plan. You look, they didn't see this before. You look like you've healed. You're looking sexy. I don't know if you've been working out, but you look great. And so this person, I also think they know you have options and they're kind of secretly wanting to reach out. This is interesting. I was led on in a bad way. So there was some type of decision that this person made. They didn't see things clearly at all. It's demystifying. They're starting to see things very clearly. And it just all kind of snapped in place for this person. And they're realizing that the way that they left you in the lurch, the way that it was bad. That was bad. And there's something in particular to do with like the conversation. Because again, it's 10 of Swords. So that's Sun and Gemini. There's like some kind of dual energy. So it's like they could have said something that was maybe like a bit leaving the door open, but also like they could have said something where it really wasn't giving you like the nailed down truth that you needed or something here. Look, 2 of Cups, Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay. Well, it's still another court card. Okay. So we have the 2 of Cups, and then behind this woman, we have 3 queens posted up here. And I was just keeping on pulling to see if the 4th queen was going to come out, but we had the Knight of Swords. So, yeah, I just feel like, I think this person moved on with somebody else. Okay. Anything else? What's coming through with this person? What is this person wanting to say? Maybe this is another pile here. This person wants to say. They want to say that things did not go the way, the grass was not greener on the other side. Things did not go the way that they thought that they were going to go. They feel embarrassed and ashamed and they want to come back, but they know that they can't do that. And it's kind of them getting their karma. There was maybe a lot of love in this situation, but now there's a lot of hate. Whoever, I feel this person, it was in a relationship, they're breaking up that relationship. And you know how they say that you actually really know your partner when you're breaking up with them? So now they really know their partner and their partner is like crazy or something. And they have massive regrets, but they also feel like you're fed up with them and that you would reject them if they came back. And that you're well within your rights to reject them and that you want to like move on and go in peace. But it's their wish. It's their wish to have you back. I feel like there's more that this person wants to say, but they're kind of like being hesitant again. So let's just see if I can't get any more out. What does this person want to say, Spirit? I don't understand what this connection really is. I think that you are better off without me. I know that we are spiritually connected. I know that you're better off without me. I know that you're spiritually connected. Sabotage. I sabotage this connection and I regret it. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes. Retreat. Soulmate. Yeah. They retreated from a soulmate connection. I'm getting the sense that they thought somebody else had more to offer. They thought, I think on a like a material realm kind of thing, they thought this person had more to offer. Maybe that they were like the better choice in some way. They thought that. And they realize now that kind of thinking, it was all just like kind of self-sabotage. They know that you're their soulmate. I think whatever they moved on with, it was like passionate, but it was not enduring. And I think it was passionate because maybe this person was like, I don't know, disrespected in some way. Like they were looked at as like an object or something. Maybe they, yeah. They want a new, okay, so this person is having a new beginning. I think they would like a new beginning with you, but this person is like having a new beginning in their life. And I do think this person's been through it with whatever, like whoever they were with. I actually feel like it was a bad situation. And I just heard, believe me, I got what I deserved. Maybe there was like a lot of drinking. There was a lot of like schmegs, or there was like a lot of passion there. But it really took a hit on their self-esteem, because I think this person, like at first, their self-esteem was like very high whenever they got involved with this person. The word high is really standing out to me. But their self-esteem really, really took a hit. And they got into some type of like negative cycle with this person. But they were always striving to get back that old thing. Like they were always striving to get back that old thing that they had, because everything started off so like positive. And our brains fool us sometimes, because for some reason our brains always think that the way that somebody shows up in the beginning is the way that they truly actually are. When with narcissists, we know it's not that way at all. That a lot of times the way that they come on strong in the beginning, they love bomb you in the beginning. And that tricks your brain into thinking, well, that's just who they are. And, we could always kind of get back to that. But actually that person was like, that was always not who they really, the authentic self is not attractive here. With the authentic, real brass tacks truth of what was going on there is like not attractive. And like, I feel like that's the truth of whoever it was that they got involved with. But this person had to discover this slowly over time. And they know that they participated in this. They know that they were like a part of the debauchery or like the fucked upness of like what went on here. They know that. But it's taken them a while to kind of like discover this. And in discovering that, they've also realized that you were the real thing. You were the real deal. You were always, again, this is Queen of Pentacles energy for me. Very, sometimes it's Empress too. But it's like, again, that stability, that nobility, that balanced energy. Yeah. So I think this person is hopeful that you still find them attractive, because I think that there was maybe some type of strong attraction between the two of you as well, like some type of irresistible attraction, like especially strong physical attraction between you. So I think that they're hopeful that you would still find them attractive, but I think they understand if you don't. Oh man. Okay. It might make this person feel a little sexy if they see you as so stable and so like balanced and everything. And this is them, this like Helen of Troy, smoke follows beauty, baby. I think this person is like very beautiful, or very attractive, and they are kind of wanting you to feel determined to save them. They're like, that person shapeshifted on me, but I feel like there was like a disrespect to your energy in this. It was a gateway. This person kind of recognizes it now. There was a gateway that they went through with this other person, and it led them away from you, and it's being illuminated here. Possibly by the tarot, because we do have Hecate here, this like witchy energy. It's making them have some type of like fear around the divine plan. I don't think the divine plan was to trick this person and to lure them off. I think they were meant to see in the dark here, of like, they were also meant to protect their home, to protect their space, and to protect their prosperity. So they have to learn how to do this. They have to learn how to see in the dark in order to protect their home and their prosperity. Yeah, pleasure was definitely like a gateway here. And I feel like this person's been reduced, and I think it's because there's been like, I feel like this person's maybe been cheated on. Could have been a baby involved, or like, there's a question here around a child. And so it could be that like there's something like involved, but it could also be that this person left you for somebody else, went off, had a kid with that person. So this is not a great path to go down, what they went down. And so I do think there's a bit of a worry here about a child that they had with that person, because it's this situation where like they thought that this person they were with was like the golden cup, but really it's this Set energy. And Set has a wife, and I can never remember her name. But she raped Osiris, produced a child, Anubis. Anubis is cool as shit. badass. So I would say don't worry about the child, because the child is probably going to be cool and badass. They do have a, a hard father or a mother, like whoever. I think that's, genetically probably not the best situation. And in terms nature and nurture could be better, probably, like in that situation. But I think they worry about that. There's something like a question here about parentage. So it could be that person cheated on them and then had a baby with somebody else. That could be something that's going on here. But it's like, oh, I thought that I was having a baby with Osiris, but actually it was Set, like kind of a thing. That's kind of what I mean. But again, like Anubis is the child that comes out of that. So like kind of a cool kid. Smart kid, but it's a kid that has been exposed to the darker sides of life for sure. Like within a person, like, and knows that kind of like emotional energy. But this person, okay, this is going to sound weird, but this person has to develop confidence around this temptational energy. They have to have the confidence to confront and overcome that, because it feels to me like that's a weak spot in this person. That if they feel some type of like sexual attraction to somebody, that they make that into something that it's not necessarily. It's very blinding for this person. And that is the tool by which they can be pulled off. And this person has to, again, they have to learn how to protect their home and their prosperity. But it's by seeing in the dark. That's the lesson here that this soul has chosen to work on. So, and they're going to develop, I think this person's going to come up a fighter. Cause this person does have nobility in them. They do. And, so they're going to come up a fighter. They're going to have to charge like away from this, like very strongly. But I think in the process, they've lost you, because it seems like you're stable, especially financially. Like you have a lot. Or you were this person's prosperity in some type of way. And maybe you traveled away from this person. Yeah, like you, I think that you traveled away and you were a little bit like, huh? I'm going over here. And then like you kind of went with the flow with it. And yeah, I think that maybe you met somebody, or like you were on some other path that was your Osiris path, and it like really brought you back to life in some type of way, where this person just feels thrown out. And that could be like they're relating being thrown out like with you. But again, I feel like this person colluded with the energy that was. They feel bad. This person basically feels bad for what they did. They are seeing it through an entirely different lens. And I think this person was trying to block out what they did, or they were trying to make excuses, or but it was, now they're kind of pissed though. But I can see that it's very intertwined with how they felt about this other person. Like whoever they went towards, they felt that person was like, I don't know, the king of traditional values or something. When really, the guy's not great. The guy's not great. The guy's not great. The guy's not. I'm hearing the boy is mine. The boy is mine. The boy is mine. The boy is mine. So it's like, I feel like there was a sense of competition around this other person. The boy is mine. The boy is mine. The boy is mine. So yeah, their pride was really like kind of like connected to it. But they thought that they could win that competition too. Like they thought that they had some type of like strength, and maybe they did. But I can just see that like whoever they went off with, there's a judgment on that person. There's a judgment on there's a judgment on that energy here. The truth is coming out about that. And, oh wait. Oh, and now you see your angel was a fake, and my love was never misplaced. See, baby, my love is true. And most importantly, still I love you. So you might still love this person, because I feel like there's actually like your love was probably built on genuine soulmate connection kind of stuff. But you had to go. Probably this person, maybe, again, things could have ended very badly, very abruptly, very suddenly. You were probably left confused. This person didn't clear certain things up. Yeah. But I still think that you've had to move on. And I don't think the gap can be bridged here. But this person is sorry. This person is sorry. I don't know. It does seem like this was not a great situation for you. I think you probably have hard feelings towards this person, because I can see that you were the prize in this situation. Like you were the one actually offering something real. Like you were the real deal. You were the real thing. And I think that you were compared unfavorably to somebody who was just in the end, like, I just heard ruthless, or like, I don't know. But this person, again, they're like, trust me, I got my karma. This person's like, I've been through it. And they really have. This was not an easy path. Like the path that they went on. It's not. I feel like it was, the door was wafting with like honey and ambrosia and the smell of spiced meats, like like that was very much what this was. And that was the point of it. And this soul, I can tell, signed up for this before, like they knew, and this very well could have played out in a past life, but they're learning how to protect their home and their prosperity by seeing in the dark, by seeing people's Pluto, by seeing their own Pluto. So that's kind of what's gone on here. So, okay. What can I say? I just chose to let it go and refer myself to the Serenity Prayer. Angel in Disguise, yeah, by Brandy. Still I love you. That song Angel in Disguise finally made sense after all of this. Oh my gosh. So, because when I was saying that, there was a time at the beginning of my channel where I remember I was channeling that song a lot because I had forgotten about it. And yeah, and now I guess it comes back around and it makes sense after everything. Okay. Well, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope that wherever you are in the world, things are happy for you, things are calm, and that you are finding ways to make connections and nurture your relationships with people. And yeah, I hope that humanity is like alive and well where you are and in your own heart, and that there's joy and happiness and hope for tomorrow. So, okay. Don't want apologies, want amends. Class dismissed. All right. That's what I have for you guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.